my biggest thing with Miami is, they're atrocious on the field. Their roster needs to be blown up. But my bigger thing is I'm actually not worried about what they'll do if Messi comes, because they will literally they'll hire a coach who Messi's dad probably will recommend. They will build an entire roster. I'm serious, by the way. They'll build an entire roster around him. So they'll be fine, right? My bigger question for them is if he doesn't come. I mean, they have put so many eggs in this basket, dude, that and there's, I just want to say this, there is, I want Messi here. I do. I'm selfishly, professionally. It's good for business. It's good for content. It's good for us just watching the game. There's this other huge part of me that just loves Schadenfreude and wants everyone to fail at everything. And that part is a very strong part of me that wants us to fail. And I just want him to take the bag into the Middle East to be like, you fucked it up, Miami. But at the end of the day, I hope he comes, right? But if it doesn't work out, I'm just like, man, it's not like they can't turn around and sign Mbappe or somebody. It's just there is no replacement. It's I don't know what they're going to do, from a PR perspective.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, we have our insider here at Meadowlark Media, obviously Michael Ryan Ruiz. I don't know if you've seen some of his tweets and his feud, I guess, with Fabrizio Romano.
What I describe as a blood feud or a death feud. Just quite big day for confirming my stories. You see that one the other day? Yeah.
It's a great, it's nice to have a resource like that on our end. But is there anything from, we spoken to him ad nauseam about it. But
he's a direct line to Miami ownership. You should find out why we got banned. Who did that? Who made that call?
That's a good. I will do my investigative reporting and find out that for you. From the athletics end, is there anything that we may not, any detail, or is it simply, it's on Messi? Obviously, we've heard that the offer is there for him, whether he wants to take it or not. But what is the, I guess, strong incentive for him to come to Major League Soccer? Does he care about changing sort of the face of American soccer and really doing that, or does he want to just go back to Barcelona, get some pats on the back, and just end his career?
Yeah, I mean I have several different thoughts on this. Felipe and I spent some time sort of just talking about this at the bar, basically. I mean, there's no real financial. I mean, you could say something like, Miami, I think it was reported the other day, and Lord knows what's true, but that, it would be he'd get Adidas money and an ownership stake, which that much, the ownership share thing is definitely true. But little things like that. And, I heard at some point that Miami might cut him in on the real estate around the stadium. I mean, they're getting, the league in Miami, they're getting creative like that, right? But I mean, they're just not going to compete with the Middle East. I mean, Al Hilal, I mean, they could just offer him $750 million probably if they want to, right?
They're here, take an oil refinery.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. So if it's about money, not that Messi needs any more of it, but if it's about money, he's just going to go to the Middle East. Also, if I'm being real, his life there can be very easy. You know what I mean? They can be we'll protect you and we'll keep you. It's we can take care of your family, all sort of stuff. Less so, I feel in the United States. I mean, if he comes to America, it does have to be the Clive Toye, the old commissioner and GM of the Cosmos, commissioner of the NASL, the guy who brought Pelé to America. I mean, that was his pitch to Pelé was, look, you've won. You won everything there is in South America. You've won the World Cup multiple times. You come to the U.S. If you go to Real Madrid, which is where he was thinking of going, you can win the European Cup. If you come to the NASL, you can win an entire country, right? And so that he very much has to want to do that. And I just don't know how much he cares, which by the way is fine. It's He's an athlete. He's not some peace emissary or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch wherever he goes. I mean, the other thing too is he's going to get. I mean, look at Ronaldo, man. I mean, he went Cristiano. He went to the Middle East, and I mean, I'm sorry, we all watch soccer all the time, and I'll see a highlight of him. He's invisible. You know what I mean? From a soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, perspective, he's invisible. I mean, if Messi comes to MLS, it's going to be a media juggernaut,
Right. And it'll just lead to, because going to Saudi Arabia, like you said, they're generally forgotten. They don't do the same numbers and ESPN FC tries to bring up Ronaldo, and people are like, "Why are you still talking about this? We don't really."
Nobody cares.
No one.
The whole segment of consumer that's happy he's over there. We don't have to see him anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there are very few people that are like, he joined my favorite club. Thank you.
Yeah,
so much
exactly.
for doing
My
that.
favorite club. Al Hilal or whatever. Who does he play for over there? Who does he play for over there? I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Al Nasser. That's who.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think the Messi joining Major League Soccer, especially it's not. It's not obviously. I mean, Beckham joining Major League Soccer was a big deal.
This is a bigger deal. This
is the equivalent of Pele coming to NASL. Like this is.
You look at where the league was back then too, and it was very much like Beckham coming here to this sort of fringe thing, and like MLS. I mean, say whatever you want about it. I rag on it all the time, but I mean, like, it is in a very different place now than it was in 2007. It does have some international respect and cachet, like. It is a thing where it's like he's being plugged into like a league that's pretty competitive and physical, and the quality isn't great, but I mean it's not an easy place to play. I just talked to Felipe, I just talked to Cesc Fabregas for 30 minutes, little flex right there this past weekend. Felipe, I just talked to Cesc Fabregas at the 77 tournament in Cary, North Carolina, which is a real sentence. Anyways, I asked him, I said, we're like 25 minutes in an interview, I was kind of running out of questions. I was like, hey, I'm just curious if you ever considered coming to MLS. You're playing in Como and Serie B. And he said, honestly, no. He said, I know the league. I watch it a lot, but it's a very physical league. And I wasn't looking for that kind of league at this stage in my career. Literally him saying, like, I wouldn't hack it here. Like physically it'd be difficult. So, not that it's going to be a problem for Messi, but
right. I just can't. If he does that, I want him to go to Miami just for the barrage of angry tweets of people that are going to be forced to watch Major League Soccer after constantly, bad mouthing it and wasting all this energy with all this negativity.
I can't wait to see their commentary on Pessi's performance in Game 3 of the best of 8. Playoff series that Inter Miami got into by being the 11 seed in the East or whatever.
That's what I need in my life. If they get bumped out in the wild card, it's just going to be, Messi. Right. Messi's finished.
Exactly. Like Messi threads a perfect ball through to, I don't know, a recently unretired Breck Shea who they hired as a forward and, Breck Shea, also a TST participant. And spent quite a bit of time talking to Breck Shea and Jeff Cameron, actually. That still can't figure out what their business is that they're starting.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No idea. I mean, I'm sure they're getting into, lobbying for some sort of Republican.
Exactly.
Super PAC.
Come on, man.
I don't
know what Breck's politics are. I just know he's from Florida and owns an assault rifle.
Okay, I mean, I've seen photos of him holding a machine gun. That's all I know. Yeah. I don't know where he lies on what we should do with these books that show two penguins kissing.
Holding a machine gun. I love this is gonna lead, every time I say something like that on Twitter, there's always one person who's like, machine gun isn't even the word for that. It's like that's not even an assault rifle. And I'm just like, bro, I need to get you on a watch list. You know what I mean? Like, this is what you chose to tweet at me, is the semantics of the gun that this person is holding. Jesus, dude.